So, Interlagos, my god, this track is chef's kiss. It blew my mind away how good this track is. I mean, whatever car you drive on this, you can have a great time. It's incredibly fun and hands down my favorite track on the calendar. Well, I'm getting ahead of myself. So, let's get into our segment pit stop recap, where we run over the last race and talk about its major events. So, what happened in the Mexican Grand Prix? Well, practice and qualifying were amazing. Practice, especially because of Alex Albon, he put in some amazing laps. I don't know what happened to his car, maybe he took damage or something. He couldn't qualify or perform that well in the race. But oh my god, qualifying Daniel Ricciardo and Yuki Tsunoda. Daniel out-qualified Sergio in an AlphaTauri. Like, in an AlphaTauri. Oh my god. I mean, I know he was only a couple of tenths behind Max, and even Sergio was like just a bit behind Max. That's the closest he's qualified to Max, probably in the entire second half of the season. But man, Daniel delivered. This was a statement drive from him. So on qualifying, Max took third place, surprisingly, and Charles and Carlos, they both seems to have surprised themselves by putting themselves on 1-2, Charles on pole and Carlos on second. Yeah, no one saw that coming. And then after that it was Danny Rick on fourth, and after that was the Mercedes. No, wait, it was Sergio Perez, and then the Mercedes. They didn't do too well in the last round of the qualifying. I don't know, maybe track temperature changes favor the Ferrari. Never know. And then came Sunday's race. Lap 1, turn 1, Sergio Perez decided to copy Lewis Hamilton. Like, from his race on Qatar. What is this guy thinking? Like, oh my god, he went all the way from behind Daniel Ricciardo, got a good slipstream, good launch, and just sends it in the first corner. I know he was in the outside, I know F1 cars, you sit really low, you might not see, but come on, you're an experienced racing driver. What are you doing? Sorry. And then Lando Norris got knocked out in Q1. I forgot to mention that. He started from 18th and made his way. That was probably his best drive of his entire career. Like, holy shit, in a circuit that's almost impossible to overtake, this guy drove like crazy. Lando would have easily been on the podium, even maybe competing with Max if he had qualified properly. I don't know what McLaren were doing on that day. And also, did you guys see Lewis Hamilton's move on turn one, where he overtook Charles and Ricardo? Holy shit, that's like the old Lewis back there. Like, this race was amazing. And Kevin Magnussen's car caught fire. He actually dumped his car off track in the previous corner. That messed up his suspension, and then right in the next corner his suspension gave way, so he crashed into a wall and his car started catching fire. The brakes caught fire, and that ended up cooling the entire car. So the session was red flagged, which, I mean, most people were confused why it was red flagged because it was well away from the track. But I mean, I do understand safety concerns and debris, but I don't know. And also about the circuit, is it just me, or do you guys think that the Mexican Grand Prix circuit should never have been one? Like, I don't know, it's quite a boring track. There's like, a few straights, and then immediately there's like really slow corners where you're on your first gear. It doesn't make sense. I mean, it's not really a Grand Prix track. It's not fun to drive. The corners are boring. The section with the S's have really high curbs. I don't know, it just feels wrong. Like, I know the Mexicans, fans and everything, they make the circuit pretty cool. And speaking of the fans, did you guys see the clip of the Ferrari fan getting beaten up by Checo fans after Charles and Checo came together. And I forgot about Charles. So this next segment of Charles's depression. How did he get depressed? What happened? Sergio just turned in on him, like sandwiched him between him and Max. Like it was his corner. Charles didn't do anything wrong. I would say Sergio could have backed off there, but I mean, lap one racing incident, I guess. But poor Charles. And then he got booed by the crowd when he was on the podium, and then he had to sit and explain himself. I don't know. It was pretty sad. And my God, have the Aston Martins fallen off. It's so sad watching them go from podium challengers to back markers. I mean, they're like behind the midfield. It's pretty sad. I wish Aston Martin could get their shit together. I mean, by no means I am a Lance Stroll fan, but hey, I wish they could get their shit together. I mean, even for Lance Stroll, I mean, I know he doesn't have the pedigree of a racing driver like the others. Like his racecraft seems a bit weird sometimes. He messes up in qualifying or does a ding dong here and there. But come on, I wish Aston Martin could do a little bit better. Like Fernando Alonso was amazing at the beginning. Well, that wraps up our pit stop recap, and now we'll go on to our track walk. So did you know that this circuit is called Interlagos because it is situated between two lakes? And also the actual name of this circuit is Autodromo Jose Carlos Pache. I'm sorry if I butchered the name, I tried my best. So in my opinion, this is the best track in the entire F1 calendar, and you'll see why. Now we approach the first two corners, which is also known as Senna's S's, and this is one of the two main overtaking points on this track. And the next corner curve of the sun opens up into the southern DRS straight. The fact that this track has two DRS straights allows drivers to run high downforce cars, and in the DRS they can just open up their wings and capitalize on reduced drag. Now we approach the next overtaking zone, which is translated to Lake's Descent. I cannot pronounce the actual Brazilian name. And the following two corners is actually a descent. It goes downhill. And now we start a little climb. And I think this is where the best part of the track for drivers begin. Like after the next two corners, driving there is a treat. It's like you can explore the car's balance, and I would recommend any one of you guys, if you have access to a simulator, drive this track. Download it if you want. I will even put the links here. This track is a treat to drive in. Like getting your car sideways if you don't want to go fast, and also keeping it balanced if you do, is actually enjoyable on this track. So the main things that make this track quite fun for drivers and spectators is, first, overtaking opportunities, and it's an old school track, and also the elevation changes. It impacts a lot of the braking zones, acceleration, and this track is amazing. Now we go to a climb all the way to the DRS straight, and that's it. That ends our track walk. This track is pretty short, which should make the sprint race and the main race one of the best. So now we move on to the news and predictions area. So when it comes to news, there were some rumors spreading around the paddock. Albert Fabrega, I think, started it on Twitter. I can post some screenshots of it. So basically he said something, oh my god, I heard some rumors, and it hinted towards, most people actually told, oh, is it Fernando Alonso, is he retiring, is he moving to another team? But then yesterday he did come up on TV and said that no, the rumors are not true, but you never know with Formula 1. And also Christian Horner and Helmut Marko kept saying some stuff. If you don't know, these guys are Christian Horner is the team principal, and Helmut Marko is, I have no idea what he does, but he's one of these senior figures there. And well, when it comes to predictions, it's a sprint weekend. I would predict a Charles Leclerc pole on the sprint pole. or whatever sprint winner. No, sprint qualifying winner. And then for the sprint race, I would say Max would win. But for the main race, I think Lewis is going to take it this year. He loves this track, it's his second home race. And then I would say maybe a McLaren on the podium and Max. That is it for today. So I'm really looking forward to this Grand Prix. I hope you guys also enjoy it. Please do watch it. It's supposed to be one of the best races of the calendar. Hope you guys enjoy it. And I hope I don't jinx it as well. Anyways, have a great day. Bye.